Hey everyone, this is the final presentation video for MC Media. I'm Gabriel Dovtian. This is Juliet McKeekin. So we're going to run through our journey with you. Initially, when Juliet and I decided to be partners, we didn't really have any idea of what we were going to do. It was only until one of our friends came by and they were listening to the freemium version of Spotify that we asked him why he didn't have the premium version of it. And he said that he didn't want to have to pay the cost. And so we thought to ourselves, okay, wait a minute, there seems to be a lot of people who would probably love to listen to music for free, and they would love to sort of have all the features that comes with that, but they can't afford to pay the price. And so we're like, okay, is there something that we can do or develop or come up with an idea to do this? So we started doing some research, and we found that music services do not offer generally affordable music to people who want it, and this is a huge untapped market. We noticed that Spotify globally had 140 million users, but less than 60 million were paid users. And that free users stated that their problem is the price tag of the ad-free service. So we were thinking to ourselves, okay, is there a way we can sort of develop an app that can, hit this market? And so that's where we came up with our idea. And I'll let Julia take it away.
Yeah, so essentially MC Media is a free music distribution platform which includes non-intrusive ads, which is a main pain point for our potential users, and offers offline listening for downloadable content. And naturally, when we said this all looks really, really good on paper, and I bet you a bunch of people have honestly tried to do this a bunch of different ways, but we wanted to make sure that this would work. But to do this, we would have to answer some pretty crucial questions going into it.
And so part of the thing was like, obviously we realized that some of these music companies were using the a model of charging people for a high premium so that they would not have ads. So we were like, okay, how would the app generate revenue if we're not trying to charge people directly? Moreover, do people even want an app like this? It sounded like a really great idea, but we didn't know if we had the sort of market or customer base for it. What would the download process look like? Who would we need to partner with? And would there be in-app gamification was something that we were considering as well. So
again, going into this firsthand, we realized that our market, it already exists. So that's really, really great. And it has a very structured format as to how, these different applications roll out. So of course, this would be either iOS or Android application be on a mobile phone, and that makes it much easier just because these are the most readily accessible devices on the planet. There are 2.2 billion smartphones out there. And so reaching a potential user base isn't that hard.
And so when we were thinking about our potential sort of like customer base, we were like, okay, let's we're in UC Berkeley, so let's think about all these incredible students that probably listen to music all the time. But we had to pivot there too, because we realized that we needed to really look beyond just the students and see that there are millions and millions of people who are listening to music, young adults in particular, but also teenagers, which was another target market that we were thinking of taking into consideration, simply because we wanted to develop a free app, and most young people don't have money. So this caused us to pivot along the way through the app creation process to ensure that we meet the basic demands of our base customer group.
So regarding channels, like I was talking about earlier before, our existing market already has very specified channels in which we sort of have to operate through, which again, it sort of works to our benefit in that we don't really have to develop anything on our own, and we can already use existing tools to sort of bring our product to market. So more specifically, this will be distributed through mobile app commerce, which of course will be the App Store, the Google Play, or anything along those lines. And this will help get our application to a guaranteed audience, which will really work to our benefit later on.
Another area that seemed to require a lot of pivots, actually, was our revenue model. Initially, we wanted a strictly ad-supported model with the video ads during downloads. Through our interviews, through doing some research, we found that obviously video ads were the biggest moneymakers in terms of ads. Then we realized we'd have to move into like a multi-ad system with video ads, banner ads, and embedded ads. This is what our revenue model will look like, but we wanted something to bring in additional income. We were trying to figure out ways of doing it, and Juliet suggested, why don't we take into account something like gamification, which would allow users to keep downloading songs and get points to listen to more songs. When they run out of coins, they would be able to purchase some from the app. So this was like a zoom out pivot, which was a really good idea that we want to implement going forward.
Yeah, and so of course, after all these tests and sort of accumulating all this data, we came to the landing page, and this was essentially sort of the next step before building the MVP. And so the landing page, we really wanted to clearly outline for our potential users like everything that would come with an app like this and all like the real benefits to using it. And I think one of our coolest tests throughout this entire experience was probably again building a landing page and sending it out to all of our potential users and getting the overwhelming feedback that we did from it.
So after we had our basic outline, we decided to build our MVP, and with the extreme help of Juliet McKeekin, we made a really cool MVP that we got a lot of great feedback from a lot of the people that responded to our landing page emails, and they tested it out and they seemed to like it a lot. And so that gave us a lot of sort of momentum going forward and a lot of positive response. Some of our final takeaways, initially we thought it would be difficult to do this without someone who was more on the computer science sort of skill set, simply because I don't have that skill set and Juliet does not have that skill set, excuse me. But what we found is that there was a lot of information that we were able to get without having to necessarily be so computer savvy. Obviously, moving forward, we would probably need to find someone, a team member who likes our idea, and we'd be able to pitch to them, and they could help develop an app with us that could sort of have all these features that we wanted to. Moreover, it was just a really cool experience.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Take care.